And the one thing I've been learning was that we gotta be careful by what we say. We can't just say, I need this, I need that. Man, if I just had this, man, I really need this, I need that. One, you begin to establish a belief for whatever you say in your mind or out loud over and over again. And if you believe you really need something, ask God for it, right? But ask in faith. It said don't ask without faith, right? It's pointless to even ask if you're not gonna believe. A lot of times God knows what we need and when we need it. And I learned from experience, sometimes God will hold back giving you something until you're ready for it, right? Until you won't abuse that thing, right? You may think you have pure intentions for it, but God sees, he sees what you would do with what he would give you. And other times, God just trying to get you to exercise your faith so you can see him move by operating in the things he told you to operate in, right? Through faith, right? Getting experience. So yeah, he has purpose in a lot of different things, right? God has purpose in whatever he does. That's why David was like, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Or some translations say, I do not lack. We gotta be careful what mindset we're operating in. If you operate in a mindset of want and desire, right? It's not just what you're doing that, let me say it like this. The mindset that you choose to operate in can open doors for other things. So if you're operating in a mindset of lack or desire, right? Now other desires can surface, can come through that door that you're leaving open, right? Your heart is a door. And if you're full of desire, right, then other things that you think you desire or do desire, right? But previously, God showed you that you need to have self-control, you need to be patient, right? Those things can begin to come through, right? And begin to establish a temptation now. And the enemy sees when he can work with something, right? So you're operating in the lack, right? A belief that you don't have or you don't have sufficiently, right? Now other things can begin to be established, right? In your beliefs that you, okay, now you start thinking of other things that you don't have and where you lack here and that you may think you lack here, when those things, it's not time for them or you're not ready for them, but it don't matter because your mind is already in that place. So yeah, there's always a way of escape. God can get us out of those places once we get there, but he gave us these parameters that way we don't even end up having to go through that. Because a lot of times, you depending on where you're at in your journey, right, your faith, you may fall because of that, right? And now you're in a season of falling after fall, and it's hard to get back up because you know what I'm saying? When the more you know, right, the more is required of you. So God has to kind of show you like, hey, let's learn from these lessons so that we don't keep doing these things, right? Because it's that important that you get established. Because when you're walking in the Spirit, you're made alive to the striving of being conformed unto the image of Christ. We may not become utterly perfect, right? But we can perfect our focus on him, which guards our heart and mind.